the reason why Trump's base is at odds about him. To be blunt, the right wing of this country are severely authoritarian. The right is predominantly white people. They call themselves American while the rest are minority American. Simply pick the minority. It has been their way to others and retain their needs of not only separation but superiority. Thus why they have so many racist groups such as the KKK, Proud Boys, white nationalist, neo-Nazis, supporters of the Thin Blue Line. And their political leaders who galvanize them via promises to deport and/or hurt brown migrants from either south of the USA or from within or around the Middle East. To support such needs, blatant murders such as shooting a concussed black woman in the back of the head when asked for help after a car crash had a failed defense of advocating for the Second Amendment. Another was a car of black people playing loud music, where a guy fired his shotgun into them, while claiming not only self-defense but advocating for his Second Amendment rights. If that's not enough, the Spanish flu saw racist white people furthering their hatred for Hispanic people in Mexico, and lower based on a name, but not its origin in Kansas in this very country. Modernly, these same-minded people turned their vitriol to any Asian-looking citizen or inhabitant, including indigenous natives, because not only was it alleged that COVID-19 originated in China, but Republicans cited it as the China virus. Racist white people in the United States of America are habitually hateful, and they have set this land's progression back centuries from where we could be today. Donald J. Trump, like most business minds, are authoritarians. To make this understanding simple, let's use the typical manager. A manager controls the flows of duty. This person will control work schedules, payments, duty stations and such. That is a very blanketed and general view. Some managers are empathetic and will give you time off for family, personal, or even fun events you want to do, because this person understands they may wish for these things too. Also, this person must look out for the full functionality of the establishment, and thus may throttle back certain allowances. On the other hand, the authoritarian will display first and foremost who is in charge. Even if this person shows empathy, if they want something, it will be gained, and most likely, your feelings, situation, and needs are a moot point. Basically, get to work and do it right, or you will be replaced. Since Republicans are lovers of the authoritarian mindset, which is often confused with a misused meaning of alpha, they gravitate towards anyone showing power, control, and authority over others. This is why Mitch McConnell has stayed in office and in control for so long. He has never done anything for anyone. What he has done has shown a legislative disdain for minorities that aids in white racists wanting more of him, while ignoring their increased taxes, poorer quality of food and water, wages that stagnate while prices gradually increase over months, not years, and turn a blind eye when Mitch laughs at the idea of helping his supporters. Donald J. Trump took all his cues from everything Republicans have done since George W. Bush. What Trump did was take the gloves off, as John McCain didn't do against Barack Obama, and make his decrees banning Muslims, blocking Mexican migrants, turning down the welfare queens, also known as black people, and support law and order, which has always been code for obey and follow suit. This makes it easy to subjugate minorities and harm them if they don't readily comply. In addition, the racist white people out there can laugh at it and say things such as, why not just follow orders and avoid the beating? Or, well, they shouldn't have been who they are where they were. This propelled Trump into the stratosphere of great Republicans, as 1/3 of this country was all about him. He could do no wrong in their eyes for the simple idea that from Trump's orders, only minorities would be affected. It's like every single time the USA went to war. The belief was that we are mighty, we are just, we are righteous, and thus we will win. The idea is so pervasive that these people think nothing will happen to them. In every war there are casualties, but for some reason, people are so blind to reality that they swear revenge. I faced that level of stupid in school many times, and I've seen it in videos where racist white people will bark racial epithets to minorities, and when those minorities corner the racist, you can see the fear pouring from their faces. Also, when they realize they won't get messed up for that misdeed, they put on a smile. Aggressive entitlement is the nature with these demented people. What did Trump do to lose favor with the very people that should replace drug users in prison? Simple. Trump showed weakness. He's old, but spry. He's orange, but a leader. His hair is odd, but he doesn't change it. Trump's self-centered narcissism means he cannot make a mistake, even a little one. If he does, he must display that was intentional. This was great until his opponent dropped out due to disapproval, catching a third round of one of the mutated COVID strains, and fulfilling his promise to Kamala Harris. This situation was a pause in the ethos of the Republican Party. The pause with a blaring question of, what will he do now? Trump does not understand the Mitch McConnell way of silence, and let them believe, while you do your dirt. Trump must be the center of attention, and he must be right. Not correct or accurate, he must be right. Trump's people raised the Capitol and blamed everyone else for everything. Only the most severe people were caught and imprisoned. They flew his flag, chanted his name, sought to kill Trump's rivals or those who didn't support him enough, and worse, just anyone not them. It was full mob mentality, and Trump knows he unleashed it. To Trump, this made everything just perfect. Until. With Harris on the ticket, Trump defaulted back to his racist rhetoric, insults, and microaggressiveness. His followers wanted something new, fresh, and funny, but Trump attacked race, gender, and since she's female, her mental affinity. See, these people are racist, and they know that Democrats and progressives stupidly spend all day trying to prove their racism to them and their viewers, instead of calling out ways to stop the racism and finding ways to implement them. These white racists know they are racists, but they don't want others to be able to call them racists. Trump didn't hear that, and he won't stop. He has embarrassed them. Social media has inundated the internet with Trump misspeaking and not owning up to it, slurring his words, forgetting people, places, events, and opponents. Republicans have mastered the ability to know who and what they are, know it to be evil, and then proclaim their enemies to be as they are. They know, as I stated before, the other side will spend stupid amounts of energy trying to debunk what both sides already know. Trump, on the other hand, has blasted Biden and the Democrats for the very things that he does, and social media wastes no time in throwing it back in his face. Trump's base has screamed for him to stop, but he never listens to the public. He only listens to people close to him, or who has equal to higher power than he. Trump not taking the clues and foghorn-yelled messages from his base proves to them that he is not the man for the job. Just as the center-right people we call Democrats knew Biden was no longer the man for the job. Trump showed too much weakness in mind and rhetoric that has been confused with mental decline. Trump's explosions on social media and in interviews are not of a man declining in mental health, but instead of an authoritarian trying to hold on to power. If you've ever seen someone lose power, they snap at everyone, not realizing they are forcing them to turn even further away to the point of exiling that person. Trump could turn things around, but that would mean he has to admit he made mistakes. Authoritarians don't do that, unless they have a really good ulterior motive. If by chance Trump is suffering mental decline, just think about how so many racists behold his words to heart and action. It would be clear that Trump's mental deterioration places him equal to the very people that wear his hat. Thank you for your time. Follow comparative reasoning at these links. For online banking, try Aspiration. For social media, check me out on YouTube. For simulated gaming pro wrestling with a wrap-up review from Mavison, follow CR Fire Pro right here on Medium. Also, follow The Wicked Orchard. Follow her right here on Medium.